So this video comes to us compliments of Connor Morgan. Thank you, sir, for your question. He's like, hey, how come I can't get cam sync and crank sync out of my 6-liter? I will tell you, so many crank position sensors and cam position sensors get sold that just don't need to be. Guys, before you throw the parts cannon at your truck, call us. Tech support's always free. I know it's only 50 or 60 bucks for the sensor, right? It's not like it's bad money, but it is an afternoon, right? It's time. If your truck won't get cam sync or crank sync, recognize if you're in a 2614 or a 2617 code, recognize that the problem almost invariably, now keyword almost, okay, every once in a while it really is the cam position sensor. Every once in a while it really is the crank position sensor. But very, very, very infrequently. I would inspect the wires down there, verify that the wiring is coming to it is solid and good and not all torn up. I mean, fan clutch wiring, we know. That's a known thing, right? Fan clutch wiring, it's dying and it's dying with regularity. But sensor wiring for your cam and crank? No, it's hardly ever a problem. So why would you spend your money on the sensor when that's not your problem? Probably it's the ECM getting confused, just looking for any answer. It's like your wife who you irritated because you were being, stupid, very frankly, right? You weren't paying attention to her. And she's like, I'm just trying to make it better any way I possibly can. And you're not communicating with her. And so as a result, she's all pissed off with you. You're all pissed off with her. And you're not being man enough to go tell her, hey, baby, I'm sorry. Right? So maybe you got to tell your ECM that you're sorry. And what do I mean by this? Go ahead and look to see what else is wrong. When your woman tells you, say, hey, what's wrong, baby? Nothing. Or I'm fine. These are words that every guy is like, oh, sweet Jesus, fellas, come around me, help me. My woman says she's fine. Oh, I'm just done here. Yeah, you probably are, because you're being stupid. You're not paying attention to what's going on. I hate to come down to you like this, but it's just the way that it is. Most of the time, there's an underlying reason why your lady is unhappy with you. You got to figure out, you got to care about her enough to figure out why she's unhappy with you and have her, understand that you care and that you love her. Just like your truck. The parallels here are unbelievable. So if you're not getting cam sync and you're not getting crank sync, recognize what's really happening is the ECM is like, I fully expected this engine to start by now. And it hasn't started. We're not exceeding cranking RPM. Surely there's a problem with the cam or crank signal. No, it just doesn't understand. Probably just like your wife doesn't understand that you really do love her. You just don't know how to tell her. So what you got to do is you got to figure out what else is going on with the story. Say, what are the reasons why my truck won't start? Do I have more than 45 PSI fuel pressure? Let me check that. Do I have cranking RPM? Are you seeing the little needle on your dash, your little tack? Is it moving with the starter? If it is, it's getting signal. You don't even have to look at the wires. It's fine. Are you developing 500 PSI of injection control pressure? And not just PSI, look at injection control pressure voltage, not necessarily PSI, because PSI is spoofed by the ECM if you've got a tuned truck. So 9 times out of 10, this is a very long way of saying, I'm so sorry, but I hope it's making sense to you. Try to use some analogies that maybe you can, understand and internalize. 9 times out of 10, the crank position sensor codes, the cam position sensor codes are not the cam or the crank at all. I mean, if you want to spend your money and you want to put new up in there, a new crank position sensor is better than a used one. A new cam position sensor is better than a new one, better than an old one. So yeah, by all means, I suppose we will reluctantly take your money. I would much rather help you solve the problem, though, by saying, hey, do you have aftermarket gauges? We can set you up with some Bluetooth gauges for not a lot of money, like 30, 40 bucks is all. And you can download ForeScan or Torque Pro on your phone and off to the races. Or if you want a real monitor, Edge Products makes an Edge Insight CTS3, which is the reason that God loves you and wants you to be happy. I'm a huge fan of monitoring. If you're watching my other videos, and if you're not watching my other videos, why is that? And if you're not following us yet, why is that? I mean, I'm just here to tell you, we're loving you to death over here, and you can't even follow us? Come on now. The world is smaller than that. Or is it bigger than that? I'm not sure. You tell me. Anyway, there's a reason why you're not getting cam sync and crank sync, and it's probably not these sensors. You're not getting cam and crank sync because something else is wrong. And now your job is to figure out what that something else is. Are you developing more than 0.93 volts of injection control pressure during cranking? Is your IPR duty cycle, is it hanging out at 84 and 85% and just freaking staying there during cranking, which is not copacetic? If everything was good there, you'd be at 40 or 50%. Is your FICM dropping below 46 volts, I'll call it, say 45? is that what's going on? Do you have fuel pressure? These are the things. Is your exhaust back pressure sensor, is it clean? What about the sampling tube? Is that clean? I was talking to a fellow yesterday, 280,000 miles on his rig. His sampling tube, which is like $14. It's like no money at all. But he went through half a can of brake clean trying to get that thing to breathe again because it was all kind of goobered up with carbon. Well, yeah, you're not taking care of something. Eventually, it's not going to take care of you, just like your wife. So I hope this helps you. FICMRepair.com. Yes, we offer marital counseling services. No, we don't. But maybe. Anyway, so recognize that there's no reason why your truck can't be reason 10,024 why God loves you and wants you to be happy, right? You just have to take care of it. You take care of it, it'll take care of you, just like everything else in your life. FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together.